So as you can see, it's a beautiful day out. It's a really short flow for beginners, and of course, modify some of the postures as needed. Don't do any poses that are too strenuous for you or make you too uncomfortable. Listen to your body. So thanks for watching. Enjoy this practice together. Okay, come into a comfortable standing position with your hands to heart center. And just take a moment to think about your intention for today's practice. What are some things that you would like to improve about yourself? What are some of your goals for today? And just meditate on those things as you practice today and try to stay present during your practice. And take a few deep breaths in. Go ahead and raise your hand up to the sky. Hands down to your toes, forward fold, head to knee. Raise your head up. Go ahead and step back into plank. Lower down into chaturanga, push up. Head back to the sky, upward facing dog, and then downward facing dog. And go ahead and take a few deep breaths here. And try to think of today's practice as like a moving meditation. Go ahead and step up to your hands, head up. Forward fold, head to knee, and step back up. Hands to the sky, hands back to your heart center. Hands back up, reach to the sky. Hands down, touch your toes, forward fold. Head to knee, head up. Go ahead and step back into plank. Lower down into chaturanga, push up. Upward facing dog, head back to the sky. And downward facing dog. And remember to take a few deep breaths here. Go ahead and step back up and head up. Forward fold, head to knee, and stand all the way up. Hands to the sky, hands back to your heart center. Reach your hands back up to the sky. Hands down to your toes, forward fold, head to the knees, raise your head up, step back or jump back into chaturanga, push up, upward facing dog, head back to the sky, and downward facing dog. And always remember to take a few deep breaths in and a few deep breaths out. Go ahead and reach your right foot up to the sky, step it through to your hands, and pivot your back left foot down to the ground. Go into warrior one, hands up to the sky. Reach your hands down to the ground, and your right foot back, step back into plank, lower down into push-up, chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Now reach your left leg up to the sky as high as you can. Step that foot in between your hands, and pivot your right back foot down. Reach your hands up to warrior one, and try to get down low into your lunge. Down to the ground, step that left foot back into plank, lower down into chaturanga, push up, and upward facing dog, head back to the sky, and downward facing dog. Just remember to breathe here. Take deep breaths in and deep breaths out. Go ahead and reach your right leg up to the sky, step it through to your hands, pivot your left foot down, reach your hands into warrior two. And just hold it here, and you want to put your right hand down to your right foot and the inward part of your right foot and reach the left hand up to the sky. You can keep your left hand up into the sky, but if you want a challenge, you can reach back and do a yoga bind. Reach the hand that was on the ground and the hand that was up into the sky and bind them behind your back and hold here. If it's too much for you, then just keep your hands up to the sky like this. And come up into warrior two. Step down, put that right foot back into plank, lower down into push-up, chaturanga, upward facing dog, head back to the sky, and downward facing dog. Take a few deep breaths here. Now reach your left foot up to the sky. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. And step it through to your hands. Pivot the right foot over to the ground. And go into warrior two. And you want to put that left hand down to the left foot
and raise the right hand up to the sky. And you can just stay here. But again, if you want a challenge, you can go for a yoga bind and put the hand that's up into the sky behind your back, and the hand that's down to the ground, reach under to touch your other hand, putting both hands behind your back, and look up to the sky and just hold it here. Put your hands back out. Step back into Warrior 2. And back down, put your hands down to the ground, step the feet back into plank or down into Chaturanga. And go ahead and up into Upward Facing Dog, head back to the sky, and then Downward Facing Dog. Take a few deep breaths in and a few deep breaths out. Go ahead and jump or step back, hands down to the ground, forward fold, head to knee, bend your knees into chair pose. And since this is beginner, you don't have to go down too deep. If you want, you can go deeper for more of a challenge. And just hold it here. And back into forward fold, head to knee, head up. Jump or step back into plank. And go into Upward Facing Dog, head back to the sky. And Downward Facing Dog. And just hold it here for a moment and take a few deep breaths in and out. Go ahead and jump or step your feet forward and reach your hands up to the sky, hands down, hands to your heart center. Now we're going to go into triangle pose, putting your right foot out and reach that right hand to your right toes and your left hand up to the sky, and try to have your legs as straight as possible. And you want to step up and do the other side. The left leg should be out and the left arm should be down, touching the left toes, and the right arm up to the sky. And now we're doing a revolve triangle pose. Right leg out, and you want to put that left leg over the right foot, so you want to have your pinky finger touching your pinky toe. And then step back up, and you want to do the same thing on the other side, making sure the pinky toe is touching the pinky finger. And go ahead and step back to the top of your mat. Now go ahead and reach your right hand out and grab your right toes. And if you can't get your leg straight, just go ahead and stay here. This is a balancing pose, so just balance as best as you can and try to get your right leg straight. And you want to do the same thing on the other side, on your left side. Go ahead and grab your left toes and try to get your left leg straight. And go ahead and reach your hands up to the sky and forward fold, hands down, head to knee. Reach your head up. You sit down. Now we're going to go into a few sitting postures. Just go into a simple staff pose, just basically sitting straight up and down like in the shape of a nail, and reach your 2 fingers out on both hands and touch your toes. Inhale, and then exhale as you forward fold down. And just hold it here and remember to breathe. Reach your head up. And if you want to go for more of a challenge, try to reach your hands on the soles of your feet and do another forward fold and hold here and breathe. Just reach as far as you can. And go ahead, put your head up. Put your left leg into half lotus, so you want to put the bottom of your feet into your right hip joint, and take your left arm and touch your left toes, reaching behind your back, and then do a forward fold and breathe here. Again, if you can't touch your toes, that's fine. Just put your hands behind your back as far as you can. Go ahead and reach your head up and put your right leg into half lotus pose, reaching your right arm behind your back, touching your right toes. And again, if it's too much, just reach your hand as far as you can and forward fold as far as you can. Everyone's practice is different, so always be happy about where you are in your journey in anything in life. And we're just going to stretch it out. Just lift your hips out, up into the sky as high as you can. And we're going to go for a back bend. If you can't do a back bend, just stay in that pose. But if you want a challenge, and if you feel you can do a back bend, go ahead and push up into a deep back bend and slowly walk your feet up closer to go into a deeper back bend. And just hold here and breathe. Let's go ahead and sit into a comfortable seating position, and let's think again about our intention that we set for today. You can repeat this sequence 2 to 3 times for a full practice or longer practice. But now we want to think about our intention that we set at the beginning of our practice and give thanks. And remember to take deep breaths in and deep breaths out, and remember to relax. Namaste.